Today we're going to talk about how I think Jeremiah Criddell, Ty DeArman, and others are going to make Oklahoma secondary better instantly, and all that's coming up after the bumper.
What do you mean you don't subscribe to my son's YouTube channel?
Mama, no!
Just snap the damn ball, RJ.
What's up, kid folk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. Consider hitting the like and subscribe button because I upload a video every single day. It's always OU related, college football related, sports related. We have a good time. And today I want to talk about the safeties at Oklahoma, in particular because I know I have done a segment on this already, but the Alex Grinch were very thin secondary comment is still kind of stuck in my craw, especially after he lauded Delarrin, Turner-Yell, and Pat Fields, saying if we had to play a game tomorrow, that those two guys would be our starting safeties, and I poo-pooed that for reasons that I will continue to talk about. They just don't have safeties. I don't think that Alex Grinch wants to start Delarrin, Turner-Yell, or Pat Fields on August 31st against Houston. I just don't see it that way. However, I'm thinking about this in the bigger picture. And follow me with this. You have 85 scholarships. You got 11 playing on defense. You got 11 playing offense. You got 6 special teams. You want to go 3 deep at a minimum at every position if at all possible. Sometimes you can do that. Sometimes you can't. But if you do go 3 deep at every position, you're going to have 66 players, right? And then you're going to fill it in with specialists and so forth, so on. And you got a little leeway. But I'm looking at Oklahoma's safety situation. And provided that everybody is healthy, you're looking at Jeremiah Criddell, Jamal Morris, Ty DeArman, Chance Sylvie, Pat Fields, Delarrin Turner-Yell, Justin Brills, Brendan Radley Howes, Robert Barnes, and Jordan Parker, to say nothing of what he might decide to do with a guy like Jaden Davis. I'm looking at these names, and there are 10 safeties there, okay? You're going to probably play 3. One of the things that we haven't talked about that I need to touch more on is I don't think there actually is going to be a third middle-of-the-field linebacker like we might used to seeing. Then you're going to run 5 DBs the whole time. 2 linebackers, you're going to have your rush in, and then you're going to go with a nickel in place of where that Sam was, which is what I think you need to be doing all along, not just in the Big 12, but just period. The way that football has gone, the Sam nickel linebacker needs to be your better, strong safety. Just a bigger, faster version of that. Or if you want to go with a more Bookie style of safety, then probably. But it's getting to look like he doesn't want the Bookies of the world to play in his defense. If you are under 6 feet tall, feels like Alex Grinch is going to have some height prejudice against you. If it works, nobody is going to be upset about that except the guys who are under 6 feet tall like myself. But I'm looking at these names, and I'm saying who's healthy to play in the spring game, okay? Jamal Morris, early enrollee, doesn't really know the system, has had 7 practices literally to actually play in this thing. You might get a little bit of Justin Broyles, but I don't expect to see a whole lot of him because he's had some issues. Delarrin Turner-Yell, obviously healthy. Pat Fields, obviously healthy. Bookie, you might see a little bit of, right? Probably see more. I would say that you're going to see less of Bookie this year than you saw of him last year. And then Robert Barnes, no. Jordan Parker, probably no. And, of course, Chance Sylvie, we'll wait and see on that. But you don't have your full assortment of safeties here. And as you don't have your full assortment of safeties available, it's easy to say that DTY and your man's Pat Fields, who I like, are your starting safeties. Now, I think that Pat Fields has outperformed many people's expectations. I mean, it felt like if everybody was playing to their ability, it would be very hard for Pat Fields to get on the field. And then he played really well in the Orange Bowl, particularly when you didn't have the services of a guy like Bookie or Robert Barnes to the degree that you would want. And all of a sudden, he's in the mix, and the dude feels like the kind of guy that is just buying into what Alex Grinch is doing and is benefiting from having the defensive coordinator as his position coach. Pat Fields is a cerebral kind of dude, and that's exactly the kind of guy I think should be coaching him. And you can make the argument that because you have not been tainted by Kerry Cooks or Mike Stoops in that way, that you're going to be pretty good. Now, you would make the same argument for a guy like Bookie, who, again, the height prejudice thing seems to be working against him. I still think that that guy should have an opportunity to play corner, but just because Alex Grinch's whole philosophy is built on bigger, longer corners, just seems to make that impossible. So now you're talking about Trey Norwood at your safety spot, who I still kind of count as a corner, but maybe I should be counted with this safety flock because he's been playing more nickel, right? So you got Trey Norwood, you got Bookie, you got Pat Fields, you got Jeremiah Criddell coming in. Ty DeArman is a big dude. We'll wait and see what he turns out to be at Oklahoma. He knows how to play some football. He can play both ways. He knows how to come downfield tackle. He also knows how to fill. Jamal Morris is another guy that you expect to be, for me, kind of sort of in that Pat Fields category of just a cerebral dude. He's going to emerge as a leader as that group gets older. Jeremiah Criddell, a heavily recruited guy, a huge get at early signing period. I think that he could still lead you toward the promised land when we're talking about opening the floodgates in modern day, even as you lost a guy like DGW, and he might be not completely gone, right? Because he still grew up an OU fan. He's still down with Oklahoma, and I'm sure that Alex Grinch is going to get out there during the evaluation period to see if he made a mistake and not necessarily recruiting that guy as heavily as he should have in a way that he decommits. Only guy I don't necessarily think you have a shot at anymore is Jalen Huff. I think that ship has sailed, but a lot of y'all don't seem to be as broken up about that as I might be, because Jalen Huff went up against Jaden Hazelwood in 7-on-7 for a whole year, and yet y'all feel like it's cool to just let a guy like that go. Whatever. With the spring game coming up, you're going to look for some DBs to commit because, well, number one, you don't have any defensive recruits, and number two, you were really, really bad in pass defense. As people are like to point out, you ranked 129th pass defense last year. I'm one of the people that was saying that the secondary was absolute trash, and they know that. That's not new, right? There's a lot of people that wanted Khalil Houghton to figure it out, couldn't get it figured out. Wanted Chance Sylvie to play, he blew out his Achilles. Wanted Robert Barnes to figure it out, didn't get it figured out. You see where I'm going with this, right? So you got Trey Norwood that you hope turns into a pretty good safety, but I'm not going to bet the farm on Trey Norwood. I don't think that anybody's going to bet the farm on Trey Norwood any more than they want to bet the farm on Parnell Motley. There's a lot of y'all that don't like him. So in the secondary, you have the most opportunity to leap forward just because you were so bad. That's the thing. It ain't necessarily like they're outstandingly talented at that position, but you're going to have a lot of bodies come preseason camp if everybody's healthy. You get Robert Barnes back, you get Bookie back, you get Jordan Parker back, all of a sudden you got some depth to go along with these very young cats that are very excited about the opportunity of taking a starting job away from somebody. Because Alex Grinch has made it well and truly known that you're going to have an opportunity to play on Saturdays if you come out here and bust your butt. And I also think that Alex Grinch doesn't think too highly of the roster that he has. But again, they ain't dudes that he recruited. And I wonder what he thought of the roster that he had at Washington State. Turned that defense around, made that into a top 20 defense with somebody else's players. So he certainly should be capable of doing the same thing at Oklahoma. But as we continue to talk about the safeties, I just want everybody to bear in mind, you do not have enough safeties to make an evaluation of what the safeties are going to be in 2019. Just not. So when you see Jalen Hurts or Tanner Mordecai or Tanner Schaefer or whoever carving up Oklahoma secondary, bear in mind, your full assortment of safeties here, and that's not to say the DTY and Pat Fields wouldn't be your starters. I wouldn't bet on it. But it is to say that they are not necessarily benefiting from having the iron sharpens iron dude behind me breathing down in my neck, making me better, stay in the film room longer kind of situation. They're just saying what's going on at Oklahoma. And I really want that to just kind of get nailed down. Because when Woody Washington gets here, he's going to compete for starting time at the corner spot. When Jay Davis gets here, he's going to compete for starting time at the corner spot. You're going to have lots of bodies. And again, guys to watch. Miguel Edwards, we know that we all like Trey Brown. We all think that Trey Brown's going to start. We all think that kind of Parnell Motley's in the mix to start. I know a lot of people don't like that, but I think Parnell Motley's actually a pretty good corner. He just needs a little better coaching, a little better technique, and he'll be okay. But when you're talking about corners, you're talking about safeties, remember, you're getting more to come in to help you out in a position where you need a lot of help. All right, that is it for me. Doses.